rather than a question.
Yeah.
So maybe that's a different side of a coin, you see. That's why that triggered him to react in a certain way.
Just say. Alright guys, here's a question for you. Would you rather have a boss who takes no nonsense, is very firm, but then you guys achieve things together? Or would you rather have a boss who walks on eggshells, doesn't offend you, is kind and all, but then you guys don't really progress as far? Which one would you rather have?
I personally I feel that because you say about will succeed and all, right, I'll definitely follow the boss that is more strict.
I feel it depends on the nature of the business. If let's say the business, right, is a big organization, usually, right, a lot of employees, they prefer to lay low, as in like to have more relaxed vibe. But if let's say the nature of the business, right, is actually very entrepreneurial, right, they actually have to hustle, they have to it's a startup especially, then I think a boss like the first option that you get is actually very good, a very firm one.
Because this is what I feel also, because how the employee will take the boss, right, depends on their vision and goals aligning to the companies. Because like exactly what you said, if it's a very big organization, it is hard for every employee to
really
have
show
to really,
together.
because I just go there, this is my spot, this is my role, and let's go there, just work lah. I don't really have to align myself with the company ma. But when you are small, when you're a small organization,
Sorry. What? I also cannot hold it.
what the fuck was that?
Okay, so which would you rather have? Which boss would you rather have?
I would rather the boss that get things done. When he needs to scold, he scold. When he needs to, he gets the team together and progress
So
forward.
the first one,
the first one.
first one yourself.
Yeah, first one.
Wow, all of y'all want the first boss.
Doubt.
What if I were to ask you this? Which kind of boss would you be?
Wow, that's an interesting question.
I don't know where to put myself because I like to be cautious about certain things. Okay, I would rather not in their face and everything. This is not how I would act lah.
KP will be upset if people call him unkind.
Yeah, so that part of me, right, is the second part. Okay, but the first, the part of me where I feel that shit needs to get done, we get it done. It is your job and whatever. Okay, we are working as a team. So my key point is the team. Okay, when we are playing as a team, and you are not a team player and you are just skiving or whatever, you are being super selfish, and then that is when I will be the first boss lah. You get what you get.
All that is true, but which do you think you would be? Boss one or boss two?
You mean who we are right now,
Yes.
based on our personality and everything, right? Okay.
Which do you think you would actually be?
I don't know where to put myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Doreen?
I feel it depends on situation and the people around you. So, if let's say your employees are very aggressive, then what approach should you be taking? Yeah, and if let's say your employees are very noir, very a layback, then you must be able to take that role. So I think that for me, right, I feel that I'm pretty flexible. I'm able to take up both roles. So this is what I feel my personality resembles lah. Yeah.
What about Joseph?
Okay.
Of course, number 2.
No.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
The word walking on eggshells, right, doesn't scream me, doesn't represent me as a person.
Why, you chicken, right?
No, but
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
based on my, the characteristic traits, right, I believe I am the first
But
boss
you
lah.
also don't achieve things.
Hello, darkness.
No, so like smack in the middle. Walk on eggshell, but then
I don't walk eggshell.
Okay, so the reason why I asked you guys this is because recently there was a case where we can identify someone who is clearly the first type of boss. Okay? And who am I talking about? I'm talking about the CEO of SPH. I think you guys might have watched a video.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play this video in case anyone hasn't seen it before. So what I'm gonna show you guys, to give some context, is what is the question that was asked to the SPH CEO and chairman before he reacted this way.
Okay.
Digital.
Never
I have two
must.
questions. Just now you mentioned that the revenue from CLG will now be channeled into the new constitution of the company with new goals, right? So what might these be? Does it mean that the media business will now pivot to emphasize editorial integrity, for example, ahead of advertiser interests? That's one. Okay, the second question is, this move comes after various corporate initiatives to improve the sustainability of the media business. Is it fair to say that these initiatives have failed? And if so, where does the responsibility lie? Thank you.
Okay. So that was the question she presented in front of the board chairman and the CEO of SPH. Okay. Now I'm going to show you guys how the CEO reacted. So before he reacted, the chairman actually addressed the issue, and he addressed it in a very diplomatic way. You could say maybe he was approaching it from a type 2 boss way. Okay, he was walking on eggshells a bit. He tried not to offend her, but he still got his point across very well. But what I'm going to show you guys is how did the CEO respond.
Chairman, if I may just interject, I honestly take umbrage at your first question. There are reporters from here who receive substantial funding from various sources, and I don't believe that you will describe yourself as bowing to the needs of advertisers in doing your job. So I think that, please, okay, I would say, at least for SPH President, we have always had advertising, and we have never conceded to the needs of the advertisers. All right, so we have always continued to provide fair, reliable, credible reporting. So in reporting the answer to this, I will tell you first that the question, the fact that they had a question SPH title for in your words, conceding to the worst advertiser, I take umbrage in that comment, because I don't believe that even where you come from, you concede. All right, in doing your job, you do not concede to the needs of advertisers. So I must call this out. Chairman is a gentleman. I'm not. SPH, the purpose of doing this is to make sure that SPH Media will continue to do the job we have done so well for so long.
Thank you, Chairman.
Thanks.
Okay, so that was the reaction by the CEO of SPH, and a lot of people have felt the way he reacted was a bit out of line. Okay, they felt he was a bit too strong, a bit too reactive to a very valid question asked by the reporter. Okay, so I want to get a sense of how you guys feel about this when you see him reacting this way. What are your thoughts?
Like angry only,
Okay, because when I first watched this video, right, actually, because right now we have been reading news, so I've been like sharing my boss. So my boss have been like telling me about this news which has been trending, about how people ask a very simple question: are they gonna keep up the credibility of the news that they're gonna churn out, or are they gonna cave to what the advertiser wants? Like, the advertiser can pay them money for them to
Sway the news.
So that when I watch the video, I'll be like, why his response so
Disproportionately.
Yeah.
The reporter is just basically asking, so what are your decisions now, and what is the company going to focus on?
Because they are taking funding from the government and also from investors, right? So investors can fund them, and then like they can sway the news, like you said. So I believe it's a fair question.
Okay, so that seems like a very valid situation, right? The reporter asked something which, I mean, if you're a reporter and you're at a press conference and you cannot even ask a question, what kind of free speech is this? What kind of press conference are you even conducting? So it seems like it's a very valid question to be asked in front of the CEO and the chairman during a meeting where investors will want to know what's in it for me during this change. But there is something that I picked up which I'm surprised nobody is talking about, and maybe it need not be emphasized too much, but there is something that I picked up, that may shed a bit more light on what the CNA reporter actually was trying to do. Okay, and if what I picked up is true, then the reaction of the CEO seems a bit less over the top. Okay, and I have a theory that the reason why he reacted this way was because maybe there's a chance he picked up that, hey, there is something going on here with the question.
So you are trying to say that perhaps there's underlying message.
I think there's some underlying meaning behind what she's asking.
Which part?
Which part?
Okay, so alright, I'm gonna scroll back. This is the question from the reporter.
Digital. I have two questions. Just now you mentioned that the revenue from CLG will now be channeled into the new constitution of the company with new goals, right? So what might these be? Does it mean that the media business will now pivot to emphasize editorial integrity, for example, ahead of advertiser interests? That's one. Okay, second...
Okay, so nobody has any issues with the second part of the question. The first part of the question was the part that ticked off the CEO. Okay, and this is the part that I feel may have some embedded insinuations. Right? So what am I trying to say? If you look at just what she's saying, it seems like she's suggesting, hey, now you guys are building a new entity, it's not for profit, you might be taking funds from here and there, maybe advertisers will be involved and stuff like that. When this happens, are you still going to maintain professionalism in whatever you put out, or will there be a chance the advertisers may sway the news? Okay, it seems like that is what she's asking, and if that is what she's asking, fair game. But I detected something. Okay, this is what I detected
In the question
itself, and I'm gonna play back this particular part. Okay, this part.
She never wear mask.
Yeah.
Does it mean that the media business will now pivot to emphasize editorial integrity, for example, ahead of advertiser interests?
Okay. What does it mean? Does it mean the media business will now pivot to emphasize on editorial integrity ahead of advertisers' interests? So what she's saying is, what she's asking in fact is this new company now going to pivot to emphasize on editorial integrity ahead of advertisers' interests? Pivot now.
Oh,
Because if she says that,
that
means SPH.
Before
that wasn't.
was focusing on something else, which is the interest of the advertisers.
So it seems like there is an insinuation there, because you cannot pivot into something now that you are already doing. You must be pivoting into something that is a bit different. Yeah, correct? So if you're pivoting into something different, and that something different is emphasizing editorial integrity, doesn't it mean that she's suggesting right now that is not your emphasis?
Yeah.
So if this is the insinuation, if this is what she's suggesting, is it a question or is it a suggestion that may be a bit snide? And if the SPH CEO were to react this way and call her out for, hey, we've been upholding integrity the whole while, why are you saying that we are pandering to the advertisers?
So
yeah, he might have, because like he interject the chairman, and then he come in and then he say like, who are you to question me?
So perhaps he thought that way, he thinks that was the way lah. That's why he reacted in a certain tone.
This is a theory I have. I don't know if he interpreted the way that I'm saying, or if he interpreted the lay way, which is just she's asking the question between the...
Because if you were to interpret it in a way where she is passing a snide remark, right?
I feel the reaction fair game.
Yeah.
I mean, as a CEO, you believe that, we know what we are doing, so why are you questioning our integrity and saying that? Back then, until now, we are not upholding our editorial integrity.
Actually, they are not questioning actually. They are saying that they are not doing that before. Yeah. So there's no integrity in play, that's what I feel.
Like straight away just say that they don't have.
So basically, if she's saying, are you now going to pivot to emphasize on editorial integrity over advertiser interest. What she's suggesting is you guys have been pandering to the advertisers. So
So
are you
she's-
going to pivot now and emphasize
So
on
she's
this?
making a claim rather than a question.
Yeah.
So maybe that's a different side of a coin, you see.
Mm-hmm.
That's why that triggered him to react in a certain way.
Cause
Yeah,
like,
so-
Yeah.
when I watched the video, I only watched his response only, and then like I see the comment all very funny.
Everybody just focusing on the word umbrage.
Umbrage, the keyword
Speaking
of
of
the
which,
day.
you guys know what the meaning of umbrage is before you.
To take offend.
Before?
So this one you just research lah, but before that.
Yeah, actually, I go research.
I also go and research.
Yeah lah.
But everyone learned a new word now.
Ah.
Everyone learns a new word.
Almost half of Singapore learn a new word.
Yeah, that's why.
Everybody just focuses on that. No, like, I think umbrage.
So yeah, this is a theory I'm proposing. There could be no weight to this, I'm not sure, because I don't know whether or not the CEO actually feels this insinuation was made. There could be a chance he just reacted out of line thinking she's questioning if they are going to sway to the advertisers' influence.
Mhm.
There's a chance. But I feel maybe there's a chance he picked up on this.
Okay.
And that's the reaction.
If you guys are the CEO, right, will you all react this way? If let's say she's making
Would
a
you?
claim, yeah,
100%.
but you
Yeah.
are the CEO, you know.
Yeah, 100% I'll react that way.
I think I might. Because right now it is not that you are questioning me straight, no. There's an underlying message that you are saying that SPH hasn't been adhering to the editorial integrity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And some more, right, the person is from CNA, right? He's
Yeah.
also from a news outlet.
Yeah, correct.
And then you are trying to say that my news is not credible, and then
Yours, right?
yeah,
What are you
yours
trying
is
to
lah.
say?
Yeah, lah. So
yeah.
obviously I'll take into offense lah.
For me, right, if let's say back to your first initial
Mhm.
question, right, if I'm the first boss, right, who
Mhm.
is very firm, I would do it. So
Mhm.
which means that if I'm a CEO in this position, I will do it. But if let's say I am the position of a chairman, I might not.
Okay.
Because I will see what position am I taking to play what kind of role.
Because the role of a chairman is to make sure your shareholders all
Are
feel
happy.
that are
Yeah.
happy. So what do you guys feel about what we've just discussed? Do you think there was an insinuation made? Do you think the CEO was way out of line in reacting this way? If you feel so, let us know in the comments. And we'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, is there anything else you guys want to talk about? If there is,